Hello, my name is Anna Troy, and in the SCA I am Lady Anna de Bix, the current Edelweiss Herald, that is, the internal submissions herald of the Kingdom of Drachenwald. And it's to me you send your submission. There's also an external submissions herald, currently Mistress Moore, Albion Herald. This is a video on how to fill out the name submission form for individuals. And it's about how to fill in and submit it for a new name. If you want to submit a branch name of some sort, then that's a different form. And so in this dummy form that I've made, a Margaret Smith wants to register the name Romborg Philipsdotter. So in the first section, you first fill out the name that you want to register. In this case, you can skip the second line here because that's if you want to just used if you want to register a alternate name. And then you take the name type, which is primary, and action type, that is new. And then you have the contact information, and the contact information is so that we can contact you with the results of whether your name can be registered or not. So the legal name is Margaret Smith, address is Reedway, and if this had been for real, there'd been a zip code here and a city and a country, of course. And then you have the branch name, and the branch name should be the smallest unit, basically. So in this case, I've made up the Shire of Black Mountain. If you don't live in a shire or canton, you go to the barony, and then you go to the principality level. But if you don't live in any specific group other than the Kingdom of Drachenwald, then you don't need to fill this out. Then you have a line for a phone number and for an email address. And we really appreciate if you can fill in an email address, because nowadays that's the primary way we have of contacting people. But if you don't have an email address, then we will try to contact you via your phone number or even send you a letter if need be. Then we have gender of submitter. You don't need to fill this out, but this is more of something that we can use to make sure that if the person submits a male name and they've added the check that they are female and they haven't said anything about any preference about gender, then we can just double check to make sure that they do want a gender change when it comes to the names, because it does happen that people get the genders wrong with name submissions. And then you have date of birth, and it says for conflict purposes, I've written here. And that is if we have a submission from a person that has the same name, different addresses, and then it's the same birthday, then we know it's the same person. And you don't have to have the year here, it's enough with the date and the month. Then you have the date submitted, and then you have the consulting herald and herald's email and phone. And you just have to fill that out if you've had a herald help you out, and then it's good for us to know if there's something with the documentation then we can ask the herald. And it can be the mundane name and or the legal name. And the same thing here, email and or telephone number. And then these other forms we can ignore for now, the ones with the little crosses. So in this next section, we start coming to the different definitions of the name that it's good if you add so that we know a bit more about what you want and what we can change. And what we can change is in this first section. So you can add, I will not accept major changes to my name, or even I will not accept major or minor changes to my name. And there's a definition here of major and minor changes, and I'll let you read what exactly this entails. But generally, it's a good idea to just add I will not accept major changes, because it can be kind of irritating to wait like half a year and then know that their name didn't get registered because you wouldn't allow us to remove a hyphen. So then you have the choice here, and leaving both blank. It says leaving both boxes blank indicates you will accept both major and minor changes in order to register your name. So then you come to, if my name must be changed, I care most about meaning, sound, spelling, language, and or culture. Now, if you check one of these boxes, please explain what you mean. That can be very helpful. So in this case, Margaret has added that she wants, if it needs to be changed, she wants it to be good for 14th to 15th century Swedish. She could have also added meaning, that she wants her last name to mean daughter of Philip. And sound, if somebody had added sound, if she'd added sound, then she could have added don't care about spelling. So, and then you have the desired gender of my name. Same thing here. This is only if you want to make sure that the name is correct. You can be a woman and you can register a male name, and vice versa. And you can just add don't care. And then you have a optional here. Please change my name to be authentic for. And then that can be, for example, if somebody had wanted a name, say Eric the Red, and he wants it to be like correct for the Viking Age, then he could have added Eric the Red at the top, and then here change my name to be authentic for the Viking Age. And then you have language and or culture and time period that you can check. And here is if you are or will soon be submitting another item, such as a device badge or household name. So in this last section, before documentation, is if you check this box, it says, I will not allow the creation of a holding name. I understand if my name submission is returned, then my other submissions will be returned as well. So this has to do with the fact that you can register a device at the same time as your name, a device as in the heraldic shield that you want, or you can register it after. You can't register it before. And this has to do with the SCAR Memorial database needs kind of like a name hook for the device. So that if the name doesn't register, but the device does, it can create a holding name that will be a hook name for your device until such time as they get a registerable name. Then you just add this checkbox and try again. Oh, and this can be a little add. You can try to register as many times as you want. You only pay once for each item. So now on to name documentation and consultation notes. Attach additional sheets and documentation as needed. Now, here Margaret has written, I wish to have a medieval Swedish name. Basically, what we want to know is when and from where the name is that you want. We don't need an explanation on why you want the name. But what we do need, and what's coming later, is an explanation of the documentation, especially if it's in a language other than English. So in this case, I found a good source, what is called a primary source. It's an actual Swedish medieval letter from the Swedish Medieval Letters database. And in this letter, it's a Romborg Magnusdotter is giving her son Philip 2 farms. So that then Margaret constructed the name from Romborg, from the mother, and the son's name was Philip, which she then took and made into Philip's daughter. So this was quite nifty because you only needed one document. In this case, even though this is a good source, it isn't enough to have just a reference online. And in this case, I've added the number to the letter and also a link to the actual letter. But I'll also need a picture of it. And that can be as simple as taking a screenshot with the print screen tool. And sending it on as a JPEG file when you send this on digitally. If you send your submission on paper, then you send the documentation in paper as well. Now, for the last name, Philip's daughter, because they have to show that it could be constructed this way, it is a patronymic by name constructed as per the article Swedish Feminine Given in Names by SMP. And this is an article from the SCA College of Arms website, because there are sources that are non-copy, and there is a list of them on the College of Arms and website. But among other things, what's easy to remember is that all resources on that site is non-copy. I prefer if you send this to me as right like this, an editable PDF. So if you have any questions, you can contact me at edelweiss@drachenwald.sca.org. There will also be a link. I will add this to the comments, and I will also add a link to the Drachenwald website. If you need help finding documentation and such, there's several different Facebook pages that can help you on, as well as, of course, your local heralds. Bye!